Hello, everyone. This is a much closer view than anybody probably needs to have of me, but I am sitting in my car, actually holding my iPad up. So if it seems a little rocky, I'm a little rocky. So just, bear with me. Anyway, hope everyone's doing well. Had a good week, I hope. If you're coming back, welcome. Thank you for coming back. If you're new, welcome and hang out for a little bit and see what you can see. I'm going to talk just a little bit about loneliness. It's a topic that came up a couple of times in the last couple of weeks for me. One, in a comment that someone left on one of my videos. It was one of the videos that I had made recently, and the comment was, "Stop complaining and get out and look for a man. That will solve all your problems." What? What? Really? Really? Wow. Who died and made you boss? To be the person to tell me what I think I might need. The comment was a little bit triggering, but I'd already been triggered a little bit earlier in the week. But quite frankly, it's nobody's business. And I'm sorry if what they thought, or maybe even what you thought, was a complaining video. Maybe at some point I will be doing those, but I don't think I have up to this point. But anyway, I deleted the comment. My YouTube channel, I can do whatever I want. I deleted the comment. And if you're the person who left that comment and you're here, I'm just telling you, you are entitled to your own opinion, but I'm entitled to delete you because, you're full of crap. Anyway, the second, well, actually, it was the first triggering event, was I was in a meeting, and as they do in some of these meetings, the chair said, how is everybody today? And they were kind of going around, and one of the people in the meeting said, "Oh, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, work is hard, la la la, family, la la la, sometimes I just wish I was single." And the chair of the meeting said, "Well, we have somebody here in our group that's single. Ruth, tell everybody how it is to be single." Offended much, a lot. But, my comment was, I'm happy. And my comment for, I guess, my declaration, because I have been asked several times by people over my lifetime, don't you get lonely? Are you lonely? Gosh, I could, I don't know that I could ever be. And I'm sorry for the Rocky video. Gosh, I could never be alone. I can't imagine being alone. But it's all I've really ever known. I mean, I raised my kids from the time they were 3 and 8, probably, by myself. And I wasn't lonely then. I had children to raise, but there were some extenuating factors for me. First of all, I had, and still do to some extent, had horrible self-esteem. I was also obese, and that to me was a block because I didn't necessarily love myself at that point, so how could anybody else? I also felt like I'm not necessarily a great judge of character. So let's make do. But again, when you're raising kids by yourself, to me, you don't have time. I had to have 3 jobs at sometimes just to put food on our table. So I didn't have time for a relationship. When the kids got older and, the idea of dating came up again, I did put myself out there a little bit when um, I guess I was in my mid to late 40s, but I didn't have a great experience. I again seemed to gravitate to, people who weren't necessarily good for me. And I realized that, and I just stopped. And I said to myself that if the perfect person came along into my life and I knew that they complemented my life, added to it, made me feel, so much better about myself, I might go for it. But otherwise, I'm not going to look, because at that particular point in my life, I was happy and happy. I enjoyed being alone. I don't mind the solitude. I don't mind not having somebody to check in with. Um, I don't mind always not having to be on or be a certain way. And I know that when you've been married and you're in a relationship for a really long time, that that you kind of get used to those things. But I also know that you can be lonely in a relationship. I know plenty of people who are in relationships that aren't necessarily happy. They might say that they are lonely, and uh, I don't necessarily miss that. Can I say that years ago I didn't ever dream or expect that I would be this age and be single? No, I didn't. But I also didn't pin my future on finding somebody because I couldn't be alone. Um, I have tons and tons of hobbies. I sew, I read, I have friends, I do things, but I enjoy my solitude. And, when someone says, "Aren't you lonely?" or "I feel bad for you, you must just get lonely." I mean, I suppose there are times when I do kind of get lonely, or maybe it's that I miss my daughter, who's in Minnesota, and she's can't hop in her car and come and see me. I miss that. Doesn't mean I'm lonely. I miss my oldest grandson, who is in Mammoth, and I used to see him, 2 or 3 times a month, and now I just see him, 2, 3 times a year. I miss him, and I miss, my daughter, but my son and daughter-in-law here, we get together. But again, I'm happy with my singleness. I don't know if that's really the proper terminology for it, but we are all products of choices we've made. We've all made lots of choices, and there's also things that happen that we don't really have control of. But again, mostly the choices we've made have put us exactly where we're at. And I can say that I guess not I guess, I have made the choices that have kept me single. And again, am I the most joyous, happiest person in the world? Not really. I'm happy. I'm happy. I love my life. I love the people in it and all of that comes along with it. But I'm not lonely. I'm not lonely. So don't worry about me being lonely, because I'm not. So I've rambled on quite a bit about that. So a little food for thought. What are your thoughts? Your thoughts about being lonely? Do you agree with me that you can be with somebody and be lonely? I could be totally off base, but there's part of me that thinks that might kind of be true. Have I missed out on something? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm still alive and kicking. Who knows? Someone could walk into my life. You never know. Anyway, we can do hard things. You can do hard things. Get out there and do something hard. And be nice to each other. Be nice to yourself. Take care, everybody. See you soon.